Hey guys, welcome back. This is a video about body groomers, manscaping, if you will. I want to go over the absolute best devices, largely based on their design, their efficiency, how well they get the job done. My name is Adam Hurly. I am a men's grooming journalist. Blueprint is where I put all of my expertise from outlets like GQ, Men's Journal, Forbes Vetted, Rob Report. It's all going into one place here. That's Blueprint. It's for you. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. In most of my videos, there's some educational aspect. As it pertains to body groomers though, I find there's not a lot of education that needs to be poured into experiencing these devices or shopping smart. Instead, it's a lot more about smart design. So that's what we're going to talk about today as I break out my favorite picks in the body grooming category. Now, I also find that people like to know that I've actually used all these products. I have. I assure you, I am hairy. I've got a very hairy chest. I got a hairy back. I like to keep the chest a little fuzzy. I keep the back trimmed down. Sometimes I wax it, but that's my profile. I'm growing hair everywhere. Just FYI. I'm using these devices. I have links for all the products down below. If you use our links, we can make commission. We really appreciate you supporting us in that way. And before we get started, feel free to comment below the body groomer that you really love. If you've tried any of these in this video, you like them, you hate them, let me know any feedback you have, any questions you have down below. Let's get into these picks. I know I meant to save the best for last, to keep you tuned in all the way to the end, and I hope you still do because these aren't really arranged in best to least favorite of the ones I've curated here. Rather, I want to lead with my favorite because I want to compare everything else against it later on. And in this case, my favorite really nails the smart design. This is Panasonic's Body Groomer. There are actually two different models of this. The one that I prefer is the ER-GK80. We gave it a blue ribbon at Blueprint. We give that to the absolute all-time best men's grooming products. This is the newer of the two models. The other one is the ER-GK60. I will henceforth call them the 80 and the 60. And for what it's worth, the 80 is my favorite, but the 60 offers a lot of the same benefits at a lower price. Let's get into that. The thing that makes this one stand out so much is that vertical head, that incredible smart design. These narrow teeth can go in a lot of different crevices that a device that has a beard trimmer like head cannot do. When you have that handle and you have a flat head and you have the razor going horizontally, it's a lot more difficult to maneuver it in certain crevices, but the best part of it is its ability to trim around your back side. It's so great for maneuvering down your neck, your shoulders. I even find it really easy to collect my hair in the back and trim my own neck hair going like this down the sides instead of with a device that has the horizontal mouth and trying to turn that around and coach it a little bit more that way. This is so much easier to manage that myself. And speaking of around the back, if you trim your own back hair and you don't have somebody, a roommate or a partner who does that for you, this is a lifesaver, a game changer. You can just put it around your back. It's going to require a little bit of flexibility, but you can go up and around this side. You can go up and over that way, up and over this way. If you can just turn around in a mirror, you will hit every single spot. If you find that the bear guard is too sensitive or nicks you at all, I'm hit or miss with it. Sometimes I can see a little bit of red teeth if I don't have this little protective head on it, but I much prefer it without the guard because I find it gets me close enough that nobody's going to see the little stubble that it leaves behind. So if I'm going to the beach or I'm going to be in the park without a shirt on and I want a clean looking backside, I basically just use this the day before and then I'm set to go the next day. It needs to be said that it comes with this attachment that has all these different increments on it. So when you fix that into place on there, you then have graduated lengths, and then you can trim if you like your chest hair more fluffy. If your pubic hair, you don't want to trim it all the way down, this is a really good way to give you some variance in length. Now that's one of the key differences between the 80, the device that I like a little bit better, the newer one, and the 60, which is the older one. This one has the protective guard as well. And then you only have a few different length options instead of a graduated one that you get with the 80, the newer device. But with this one, you get the extra 3 to 12 millimeter adjustments and increments, and you get about a 25% longer runtime. It is 50 minutes compared to 40. That might seem nominal, but it can make a big difference. That might buy you a few extra uses. They both take about an hour to charge. This one can be a little bulky when you do use it with the head on. But overall, I do think it's the superior of the two devices. That's why it's my favorite. But if you just want the amazing functionality and the incredible design, you can always step down to the 60 model. It's still fantastic. Especially if you don't need that customization of all those lengths. It's really terrific if all you need it for is your own back hair. Now, the next device that I really love and would recommend is from this entire family of devices under Philips Norelco. This is the OneBlade, a really wonderful innovation that they brought to the market. Basically, it's an electric trimmer and shaver that really mimics the act of the cartridge shaver. There are lots of different types of OneBlade devices. Typically, their functionality is determined by the attachments that come with it for this head. This one also ejects and you can put different attachments on it. In this case, there is a more protective trimming guard, great for your more intimate areas or just your body hair in general if you don't want to trim it all the way down. But with the standard head, you can also fix this adjustable comb. So with this one device, you have your beard trimmer. This can also be great for body hair, but the other attachment, this is really your dedicated body and groin trimmer. Now with this particular device, the OneBlade Face and Body 360, I don't find that there's as much customization as, say, the Panasonic 80, as the other devices that I'm going to feature on this list. But I really love that design that mimics the familiarity of a cartridge shave and the fact that you can flip it over and detail your face as well. Again, we're talking about body hair, but I know that some people like to perhaps detail the perimeter of their chest hair. They like to modify their body hair in different ways. Maybe you just needed to shave off some shoulder hairs. This one offers you that versatility and it's so simple. One important thing to note about the OneBlades is you do have to replace the blades with consistent use. So they are like cartridge razors in that way, but it's like every 4 months the brand recommends if you're using them pretty much every few days. I often recommend the OneBlade to folks who are getting their son a shaver for the very first time, getting him his first electric device, or for people who don't need to manage a lot of hair in general, but just need it for specific times or areas. And if you want a groin dedicated OneBlade, they do have the OneBlade Intimate. It's got a bit more of a buffer on the head there, and it does come with a comb that you can put on it if you want a slight length on the hairs. That's great if you're just using a dedicated tool for your tool or for your chest. Any of that. The Intimate in particular has a weak battery. It's like a 30-minute runtime on an 8-hour charge. It's not an outstanding device by any means, but at the time of recording this, it's maybe the $20, $35 range. It's a good low investment if you just need to target certain areas and have the assurance that you're not gonna nick your ball sack. Hey guys, if you made it this far, I just want to say please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more men's grooming content. Everything from fragrance to hair loss to shaving, you name it, we cover it at Blueprint. We're talking about the best new launches, all of our favorite products. You can sign up for our free men's grooming newsletter at grooming.tips and read all of our articles there as well. The next device that has really great design in this category is also from Philips Norelco. I feel like I tend to endorse a lot of Philips Norelco products. Look, that's not an accident. That is just that they have really incredible design. They are masters. And this device is a two-ended, double-ended trimmer and shaver. Just dropped lots of hair trimmings all over my keyboard. This is the Bodygroom 7000. This one is great if you do want the assurance of having more of a bare shave versus a stubble trim after you're done. You can only power one head at a time. Turn it over. The shaving end is a little bit louder than the trimming end. What I love about this device too is that this trimming end has these graduations in length and a really nicely reinforced mouth guard at the end. so that you get even results. One thing I hate when I'm trimming my chest hair, which again is like everywhere, is sometimes the teeth will press down, and so you get more of a deep cut then on other areas, and then you look really striped at the end. I find really good, even, consistent results with this one. So with this, you can take the guard off, but with the guard you get 3 to 11 millimeters of length in 2 millimeter increments. I will say that the shaving end, I find it a little difficult on the finer chest hairs that I have. That's the ones that are like more on the side where it kind of thins out a little more. I don't get as much results on those patches of hair. I don't know why that is, but I will say with this one, I do more or less prefer the trimming end. I'm just not a shaver of my body hair. I find that most trimmers do the job to get it short enough so that it doesn't appear, that nobody can perceive it. That's really what I'm going for, especially for my back and shoulders. I do keep my chest fairly hairy. I just like to trim it down. So that's why I'm relying mostly on this head. But if you do like a shave and you want to trim it down first, or you like to tailor different parts of your body to different situations, consider the Bodygroom 7000. Now there is a 5000 model as well if you want to step down. I actually have it here in this little back trimming case that it comes in. You can remove it though. It comes out. This is just single head. It's only the trimmer and shaver in one. In this case, you add attachments like that, and then you get the actual trimming function like you do from a lot of these other devices. I also find that this over the back thing is better in theory than in practice. It's really hard to manage and get the right pressure and angle on something when it's so long and clunky like this. So I like this as a standalone device, not necessarily for this, but I do prefer the 7000. I just think the design is a little smarter, and I love the dedicated trimmer head in that case. But hey, for your consideration, the Philips Norelco Bodygroom 5000. One of my favorite beard trimmers is also a fantastic all-in-one grooming device. This is the Braun Series 9 all-in-one. This is one of the more expensive devices on this list, just full disclosure. And what I really love about the design of this one is this dial on the front. You'll see it goes 1 to 10 and then 11 to 20 underneath that. There are 2 different guards that you can attach to it. One is for the 1 to 10, the other is for 11 to 20. That's 1 to 20 as in millimeters. So you get amazing customization with this device in terms of length. And I think that's something that's really underrated in a lot of body grooming devices. They assume that they should just offer you 3 different lengths and that everyone should operate within those 3 options. But I say be bushy if you want to be bushy in certain places. And as a normal multi-grooming device, this one has a T-blade for clean lines. It's got the small trimmer tooth for fine details, and then it's got this shaving head if you need to. I use it to shave the very top of my mustache. Sometimes I take out the stray hairs on my cheeks. So really, really good multitasking device. However, it also has a dedicated body grooming head with a little bit more protection at the teeth so it's not going to nick your skin. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the body grooming head and the regular one. You can see that the body grooming teeth are a little bit closer together. And so you could still fix that into the device the same way you would with the beard trimming head. And you can put these attachments on there in the same way too. That way you get all the customization and lengths that you might need in beard or hair care, but with a body grooming head. Now, this is a really powerful, long-lasting device. Again, it's on the more expensive end of the options here, typically probably in the $130 to $180 range, depending on the model. But if you want a one-size-fits-all device, one thing for everything on your body, the Braun All-in-One Series 9 is a fantastic investment. To wrap things up, let's just focus in on groin-specific devices. A lot of these can be used for all of your body hair, but these are the ones that I sort of prescribe to the groin area. Of course, we already talked about the OneBlade Intimate, which is a great tool for your tool. But another brand I really like in this arena is Manscaped. Aptly named, I'm sure you've seen their advertising. This is the Lawnmower 5.0, their newest device. You do have these 3 different guards you can put on the end of it to adjust the length a little bit. This one locks you in as a buffer. It's just a 1.4 millimeter guard that you can put on the end if you want a little bit of extra space. And then these 2 graduate. You have 2, 4, and 6 millimeters and 8, 10, and 12 millimeters on this one. But one thing I really love is once you turn it on, You have an LED light to help you navigate. I hope you're not trimming in the dark, but obviously you are trimming your nether regions, so it prevents you from having to lift things up or crank your head a certain way or something just to see where you're navigating. And now you can put on shaving head. So if you like to keep things bare down there, I do think that this is a nicely customizable device. It doesn't have the nuance and the range of all the other devices I mentioned on this list, but I do find that it has the power, the protectiveness, and again, I think that LED light is a really nice feature. A bit more of an investment for a dedicated device. Technically, they do target this at full body grooming too. The last two I want to mention, they kind of feel like brothers in this race. This is from Balls, and this one is from Happy Nuts. Aptly named devices. They're telling you what they're for. Happy Nuts is a brand I really love for all of their comfort creams and powders that they use for the groin area. Really great for preventing SWAS. I've also given them a Blueprint Blue Ribbon Award for their tapioca starch comfort cream. It is a game changer in summer for chafing and SWAS, promise you. But they have a couple trimming devices down there. This is actually not their newest version of the Lumberjack. They have a newer version that actually has an interchangeable head, and you can put the shaver head on it, similar to the Manscaped one I just showed you. But I just really love this. I love the color, first of all. I love the grip. You can adjust it as needed or take it off. Obviously, you've got protective distance between the teeth. Just a very simple, straightforward device for trimming up your pubes. Ditto for this one from Balls. Adjustable guard. Not a lot of length changes on these ones. I feel like these two might even have the same manufacturer, just for how similar they both are to one another. Great dedicated junk grooming devices if that's all you need. But also terrific for trimming body hair pretty much anywhere. All right, everybody, that does it for me. If you have any questions at all about these devices, please put them in the comments below. I'd also love to know what devices, if any, you really like or have had bad experiences with, just to keep this a conversation. Like this video if you made it this far. Subscribe to our channel for more men's grooming content all across the spectrum, from fragrance to hair loss and hair transplants to body grooming, electric shavers, all of those things. We talk about them here at Blueprint. You can also sign up for our free men's grooming newsletter and read all of our articles on the latest launches, our favorite products. That's at grooming.tips. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.